How's it going? My name is Evan, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you the top 3 ways to be the ultimate, not even just a regular, but the ultimate vegan. And if you're new to the channel, I post different entrepreneurship videos as well as digital marketing videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now, this video might be a little bit different. I'm starting a new series on vegan investing, and if you stick to the end of this video, I will be giving you a really cool book for free on different types of vegan investment opportunities and where the trends are going in veganism. So let's get right into it with the top 3 ways to be the ultimate vegan and a bit of backstory on myself. I've been vegan since September 1st, 2015. So that's almost 4 years now, as the filming of this is in February of 2019. And I've seen a lot of like fads. I've seen a lot of different companies come and go during my time as being a vegan, and I've seen a lot of people become vegan and then struggle and then revert back to escaping the plant-based lifestyle. And it is a struggle for a lot of people that want to do the right thing, or they just jump onto something because it's a trendy fad, which I've noticed that a lot of people have done in joining veganism, because it's been pretty trendy since about 2016, 2017, with movies like What the Health, Cowspiracy, Forks Over Knives coming out, all on Netflix. And Netflix has really done an amazing job in promoting veganism, and I commend them greatly for it. But I find that a lot of people become vegan for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then they get sick, or they don't really know what to do. They get incredibly overwhelmed, and then they struggle to kind of stay vegan, and then they may make a few bad purchase decisions, or by mistake, and then, oh, I'm not vegan anymore. Just because you make a mistake in purchasing something that you thought was a vegan product. Veganism is literally just about doing the best that you can, the best that you ultimately can, and as much as you can do to try not to harm any animals. And there's 3 different key aspects of veganism, of why people go vegan if it's not to jump on a popular trendy fad. First one is for health reasons. So What the Health, and also Forks Over Knives. Actually, What the Health is, it's all right. I might give a actual review of that movie in a bit, but Forks Over Knives is a great movie to watch if you're more concerned about the health reasons for being vegan. Second one is the environmental, and Cowspiracy is an excellent movie on the environmental impacts of animal agriculture on our societies. And then I think there's also a leather documentary out there as well, that explains the environmental impact of the apparel and fashion industry as well. So that's the second reason. So first one is health, second one is environmental, and third one is morals. And that's where I come in. I'm vegan now for the moral reasons, but I first started being a vegan for the health reasons, and then I shifted to the environmental reasons, and now I'm vegan for the moral reasons of it, because I believe that I should reduce the amount of harm that I cause to other sentient beings on this planet. And I think that it's not, if I can avoid any sort of harm or anything like that to an animal, then all good with me. But let's actually get into the top 3 reasons to be top 3 ways to be the ultimate vegan, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there about veganism and how it really gets shaped in with different sets of intersectionality. And I think intersectionality is BS. Sorry for anyone there that's into the intersectional veganism. I think it's BS, because just because you're for one type of movement, you shouldn't really be for all types of movements, or else someone will get just too overwhelmed, and then they probably won't take all of them seriously. That's just my personal opinion, but yeah, no. Let's get into the 3 ways to be the ultimate vegan. I believe in vegan capitalism. I believe in voting with your dollar, and that's why there's been such a global shift of products to a more plant-based products that are more available in grocery stores, and more vegetarian-friendly products in grocery stores as well as in restaurants and so on. So let's get into it. So the top 3 ways to be the ultimate vegan. Food choices, restaurant and groceries. So just your food choices alone will go a big way in helping increase the movement of veganism. So if you go to any sort of like fast food places, so I love fast food. My last full week before I became a vegan overnight on September 1st of 2015, and my last full week was filled with just garbage food. I ate probably like 3 or 4 Big Macs. I had a couple Whoppers in there, but it was just a binge for my last week of being non-vegan because I didn't know if I was gonna go back or not go back. And so happened now that almost 4 years later, I haven't gone back yet. So the food choices are incredibly important for veganism to thrive because then that tells different restaurants, it tells different grocery chains what food they should be buying and purchasing to put on their store shelves. So that's an incredibly great way to promote veganism, and it also lowers the cost. So a lot of vegan products, like for example chow cheese at the grocery store, like sometimes it's $11 here in Canada. It's $11 for it. In the States it might be really a lot cheaper. In Canada we kind of get screwed over a little bit with our dollar, but chow cheese for example is like $11. That's a little unfeasible for cheese slices for someone, so sometimes I'll just skip out on that and buy some other sorts of like shredded cheese. But I usually use nutritional yeast as my cheese substitute, which is a great way to get your vitamin B12 and so on. So your food choices are incredibly important. So supporting vegan restaurants as well as buying vegan products are an excellent way. And chow cheese, like I would get a whole bunch of chow cheese and I would let the grocery chains know by voting with my dollar that whenever it was on sale, so chow cheese is on sale for $2 or $3 off, I'll usually get it. Just so that it shows up on their radar that, hey, maybe this is priced a little too high. Maybe we have to lower our profit margins, and then use kind of like the Amazon or Walmart model where just because we're able to lower the cost of something, more people are going to be buying it, so the sales will go up. And then as more and more people buy a product, then the profit will follow suit with it. But it'll also lower the cost of manufacturing the goods, and then a company can buy a lot more in bulk so that they can actually lower the price. And another example of this is especially in Canada, there's I think in the States, it might be Carl's Jr. or Hardee's or something like that brought the Beyond Burger, but A&W here in Canada brought the Beyond Burger in the summer of 2018. And it actually sold out in like a month or two. So they didn't actually have they only had the Beyond Burger available for like a month or two, and then it sold out because it was just so popular. Because in Canada, we don't have a lot of choices for different types of vegan meals on the fast food market like there is down in America. But just by voting with your dollar, A&W here in Canada, the actual purchase of the Beyond Burger actually surpassed its main burger, which is the Teen Burger, which is a beef burger. It actually surpassed sales of the beef burger, and now A&W knows that knows that, hey, there's an actual market for this, and we've tapped into a strict niche. And so because people are voting with their dollars, now they're never going to run out of Beyond Burgers. And I think the cost actually went down, decreased by about 50 cents because they're able to buy it in such bulk. Even though there was like a little bit of a hack where you're able to get it for half off or whatever during that time, but whatever. It lowered the actual retail cost of the Beyond Burger at A&W by 50 cents after that fiasco where they didn't have it for like 3 months or something like that, where all the vegans were suffering. But it's not even just vegans that were going out and purchasing it. It was everyone that was going out and purchasing it because it's just a damn good burger. So yeah, so that's different food choices, especially at places where it's mostly they just serve meat and stuff. It's great to have those choices, and then you can vote with your dollars in those restaurants and grocery chains. Number 2 is personal care products and clothing attire. So personal care products like lotions, makeup, all that sort of fun stuff that a lot of girls like to use and women like to use, and also clothing attire. So clothing attire is pretty important, especially with the leather industry. And there's a lot of misconceptions out there that just because you buy a leather, so a fake leather product, that it's actually worse for the environment. anyone that's done any research on the leather industry, they know firsthand what actually goes into the leather industry, especially in India. And it's not a very nice industry. It pollutes a lot of the waterways that are there, and there's a lot of chemicals that go out with the bleaching of the skin of a cow, and it's just over, and which causes a lot of different cancer and stuff that are just indicative of people that work in those plants or people that drink the water that come in those waterways in those rural or urban areas where they actually produce leather. And personal care products like makeup and all that sort of stuff. That's why I really like the train or the popularity train that a lot of fashion as well as cosmetic influencers on Instagram and YouTube, they're really using personal care products, and they're being very picky and choosy about who they promote. And now that influencer marketing has started to actually become a very viable, it's not just a trendy thing anymore. It's actually very viable for a company to use an influencer now and actually see a return. But influencers at the same time, they used to just take on anyone that would give them money. Now they actually take the time to actually look at, hey, what am I actually promoting to my audience? Because there's so many influencers or ex-influencers out there that lost their audience completely, especially when I was in the e-com space last year, promoting a lot of different e-com goods, and it really alienated a lot of their audiences when they would have all these like small time e-com stores or Shopify stores that were going out there trying to promote their goods through these influencers. And these influencers actually lost a lot of credibility, both in the posts that they shared as well as the services that these e-com service providers did to their audience members, where things like they would purchase things from AliExpress, and then it was during like Chinese New Year, for example, and people didn't get their goods for like 8 weeks after purchasing. So really alienated a lot of people. And yeah, no, but those, just by purchasing cruelty-free personal care products. So how you know it's cruelty-free is if there's a little, I think it's a little bunny that's on the bottom of the bottle, but there's different types of bunnies as well for levels of cruelty free. So I would check that out. And in Canada, I think we just passed a bill where we've banned animal testing for cosmetics, which is awesome. So government now is starting to be on board with be on board against animal testing, not on board for animal testing, which is what they were before. But now they're kind of going away from animal testing. So it's really interesting to kind of see the evolution of this, where it's both consumer driven as well as government driven. So it's a working pair of both of these put together. And that's why the personal care products and clothing attire and purchasing through these means, it's incredibly important in order to be an ultimate vegan in there, and supporting different brands and trends that are doing more cruelty-free products. And lastly, it is with vegan investments. This is like level 10 of being the ultimate vegan, is actually going out and investing in plant-based products as well as plant-based startups and cruelty-free startups. And there's a really great book that, and it's for free. And if you stuck all the way to the end of this video, I commend you for that. I'm going to be putting it down in the description box and in the comment section down below. It's a free ebook on 5 ways how vegan investments is growing into the future. If you look on Google Trends right now, if you look at veganism, from just past 2015. So if you look at the whole history since 2003, veganism was all kind of like on the low end, just like this. And then 2016 came and it went right up. And I thought that there would be a bit of a dip going on in the vegan community, but there hasn't been a dip. It stayed increased at this top level of popularity, and it may even surpass that going forward with IPOs such as Beyond Meat is going to be coming out with their IPO this year. And I think Just is going to be coming out, and they're the ones that are really promoting the clone food and the lab meat and stuff. And while Beyond is a bit more of using plant-based like pea proteins and stuff going into that. So vegan investments is a great way to be the ultimate vegan, because you're actually helping these companies get started while you're also reaping a benefit as well when when these companies turn a profit, because a lot of these like vegan companies, like it's a multi-billion-dollar industry for a lot of things that I've mentioned here. So food, so restaurant and grocery products, personal care products, clothing, attire. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and even if it's a small startup, a lot of the time these small startups, they end up getting purchased by big retailers or big chains or whatnot. So it's actually a pretty good payday at the end of it, because veganism is only going to be growing with more government outreach and government policy that's shifting towards a vegan lifestyle and promoting a vegan lifestyle, because government has kind of realized that, oh hey, we live in a welfare state, which I'll probably make a video in the future. We live in a welfare state where it's becoming more and more expensive for healthcare, and one of the ways to decrease the amount of healthcare costs is for consuming plant-based products with food, as well as not consuming things that are animal tested or anything like that, because there's a lot of like really gross stuff that goes on in the animal testing community and the animal agriculture community. So vegan investments is the #1 way to be the ultimate vegan, in my opinion. So I'm going to be dropping a link down to the free vegan investment playbook. So that's going to be in the comment section down below, as well as the description box. And if you would like to actually learn a bit more about vegan investing, I'm also going to drop a link in the description and in the comment section where you can learn a bit more about this company called Vegan Launch that I've recently partnered with. And they help search out and find the best vegan startups for you. So it's a financial firm that goes out there and finds the best vegan startups for you to invest your money in. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description box and the description down below. And if you watch all the way to the end of this, I commend you for watching this all the way to the end. This has probably been a bit longer than I thought. I don't know how much time I have on this. But if you really like this type of content, I would love it if you subscribe to this video. Leave me a thumbs up if you are into different types of vegan investing and finding different, and leave me a comment for what kind of companies that you would love to invest in, be it plant-based or cruelty-free investment opportunities and startups and companies. And once again, my name is Evan, and this video is the top 3 ways to be the ultimate vegan. And I will catch you in the next video.